Hiya lovelies, or welcome if you're new here. I'm Linz. So we are going to be making, as the title suggests, and you would have already seen the thumbnail, so you would have probably seen how this is going to turn out before even I know at this stage. We're making ginger cake. There are so many different recipes and different quantities and things like that for this, that if you just have a look online, you'll probably find one to suit. I am having to adjust my recipe a little bit today because there's something I don't have, and I will explain to you as we go what it is. But to start off with, we have the induction hob out again today, and I'm going to turn that on, and I just want it on 1. I think we'll try for that. In here I already have 160 grams of golden syrup. Now this is just a cheap one I've picked up from Aldi or Lidl or one of them places, but what I would normally do, I have 2 other recipes. I would normally do half and half, so that would be half of, say, the golden syrup, and then I would be using a black treacle of some description, but I don't have any, and yeah, I just make and do with what we've got in the cupboard at the moment. Now to this I am adding, this here is just brown sugar. Again, if you can get like the darker brown sugar, or the name escapes me, there's 130 grams going into that. Now the idea here is we want to melt all this down. Now this is a bit of an expensive part. This here is 100 grams of butter. I've never tried it with the likes of margarine or anything, so I'm not sure how that would go. But if you have had a go at that, let me know down in the comments. Now also to this as well, I'm using lactose-free milk, but you could use normal milk, whole milk or any of that, and this is 200 mils. And basically the idea here is we need to melt all them ingredients together, especially the sugar. Another tip for that, if you're using this type of brown sugar that I have, you can kind of blend it up a little bit to make it finer, and it will make it melt a little bit quicker. There is a lot of ingredients in this recipe, lovelies, but as I said, a lot of people might have their own recipes, which would be great. Maybe link them down below and we can have a look. Or not link, because unfortunately you can't post links in the comments. So I am just going to leave that there now to melt down, and I'll bring you back when that's done. So this has melted down nicely now. Just wanted to say you have to do this very, very gently, because you do not want any of that sticking to the bottom or burning. So that there is basically melted down now. So I am just going to leave this off to one side now for a few minutes, just to let it cool down so it is not sort of boiling hot, and we'll get on with the next step. And like magic, here we have the mixing bowl. I have 200 grams of self-raising flour and 1 level teaspoon of bicarbonate soda in here already. Then we're going to get in with adding the yummy bits. So I have some cinnamon, and I am going to be adding 1 teaspoon of this, little bit heaped. So that's 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Ground ginger. Now this is where recipes do differ a little bit, because you can put some carved stem ginger in there and bits and pieces, but we're keeping it just basic today. No, wrong thing. We're going back in with 1 teaspoon. Now this is where you could vary it a little bit, depending on how kind of spicy you like your ginger cake to be. So that's 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoons. I'm going to go for 3 today, I think. Why not? So 3 teaspoons of ground ginger. This one is optional, but this is allspice. You could possibly use mixed spice as well. There is a little bit of a difference in them. It's going to depend on your taste. So I'm going back in with my half a teaspoon. And we're just going to use half a teaspoon of allspice. You don't have to use that at all. It just gives it a little bit more of an extra kick. Now, this is the attachment for my hand blender, but we're just going to use it for now, just to make sure all them things are incorporated. You have clouds of flour everywhere. So that's that. I'm going to come back now. It's literally a split second, and we're going to add the rest of the ingredients. Now, our mixture's been cooling now for around 10 minutes. It's still kind of warm, but not hot. So we are going to start adding that to the dry ingredients. As you can see, still a bit of steam, but I think that's probably because of how cold my kitchen is today. Pop that over there somewhere. Now I am going, this is looking a little bit lumpy, I am going in with my hand whisk for this now, because yeah, it's just a lot easier on me, well, my electric whisk should I say. If you have just a normal mixer, you can do that. So you just want to have that whisk until you've got rid of the lumps. Now in here I have 1 beaten up egg, and this is why it's important that your mixture is cool really when you're adding it, because otherwise it can start to cook the egg. You don't want that. So I am going to add this in and beat it back in with this. I should have said this at the beginning, but this recipe is going to make 2 £1 loaf tins in the Ninja Jewel. So I will link these in the description below if you want them, and not prepared. Also, this wee handy dandy stainless steel lifter. So they'll all be down in the links below, lovelies. So basically what you want to do now is try and get as even as possible into these tins. I never managed to get them exactly, but as good as you can. These silicone spatulas are absolutely brilliant for trying to get as much of your mix as you can. So that's that. They're kind of even, they're not amazing. We're coming back up now. I'll bring you over. So we're going to be using the 2 drawers. Now I've left the crisper tray in. That is quite a runny mix, but don't worry about it, it will come up. So there's 1. Again, crisper tray in. 2. Now we're turning on. Bring this a bit closer so you can see a bit better. We are going on to the bake setting, but we're coming down to 150. We're going up to we'll try 40 minutes, and we'll give them the sort of test to make sure they're cooked. So 40 minutes, and I want that on match. So you press match then after you set everything, and that is going to do the 2 drawers together. So we're going to press, no we're not. Oh my gosh, not again. Oh, sorry, lovely. So basically we're going the bake function down to 150 up to, oh my gosh, one of them days, 40 minutes. Press match and then press start, not off. We'll be back. These have just finished, so we're going to come down and have a look. Ooh. We'll actually, just before I do that, we'll just give them a little bit of a poke to make sure they're coming out clean. That's fine. The middle bit is the bit, for some reason, that can be a little bit soggy sometimes, but that one's absolutely perfect. Two. Yep, absolutely fine. The timings were just right, I think. So, now that's interesting to me. They're both, you've seen I put them onto the same, but the one that came out of drawer 1 is darker on top than the one that came out of drawer 2. I don't know why that is. Maybe I filled it a little bit too much or something. Now I do expect them to kind of drop a little bit, but not much. So what I'm going to do, we're going to come back when these have had a chance to cool down. Oh, I've just noticed that some of that, because it's so watery, has escaped. We'll see what it looks like when it comes out. But we're going to leave them to cool down for maybe 20 minutes or so, and then I will come back and we'll cut into one and find out what it tastes like. Okay, these have been cooling now for a little bit longer than I was intending, but see if we can out. I'm going to go with this one that's gone a little bit darker on the top, because I'm going to, that one there is going off to somebody else. So just a tip as well, if you did want to freeze these, basically leave them kind of in their greaseproof paper, maybe put another bit on and wrap them tightly in something like cling film, and they freeze for around about a month. So really handy idea if you wanted to kind of, you know what, just going to go down the middle just so you can see. Oh wow, look at that. Now you would get a darker appearance with these if you were to use the black treacle, as I said, or I think it might be molasses or something as well. I just take that out and I just want to give you, oh yummy. So we're going to give it a taste test, of course. So I'm trying not to rush this video too much. I am trying to get this up for this evening, but we're just going to have to see. So we're going to take, oh, that is just, it's nice and soft. Not quite as dense if you're used to something like the American ginger cake. And if I could get a recipe for that, I definitely would try it. So if you know one, put it down in the comments to me. Oh, I'm so happy with that. For me now, that is the perfect amount of ginger, more or less depending on your sort of preferences. I'm not going to be rude and continue eating on camera. Instead, because I'd say this video might have been a bit too long, I am going to finish up, hopefully get it through and get it uploaded. So hopefully you're going to see it this evening, which is, we're March the 5th today. So if you're seeing this on March the 5th, I've done it. If not, well, that's the way it goes. Lovelies, once again, I want to say a massive thank you for spending time with me, because it really does mean the world. You're all absolutely amazing. Have a go. I believe in you. I know that you can do this too. If I can do it, anyone can do it. Take care, and I shall talk to you all either down below or over on another video. So bye for now.